The first and most important red grape variety in Argentina is Malbec. More than 1/3 of the reds are made of this signature grape variety of Argentina. Malbec is a grape variety that comes originally from the southwestern parts of France. Malbec still exists to very, very small proportion in Bordeaux, and Malbec is the main grape variety of one AOC region in France, and this is Cahors. So originally from the southwestern part of France, it was brought to Argentina where it should become the typical signature grape variety of the country. Behind Malbec, we find internationally well-known grape varieties such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Merlot, Pinot Noir, all of which come from France. The Italian influence on Argentinian viticulture can be seen from the red and white grape varieties that are originally Italian. For example, Bonarda, which comes from the region of Piedmont, but also Sangiovese can be found in Argentina. Last but not least, the Spanish influence can be seen, among others, by the grape variety Tempranillo. When we look at the importance and production volumes, Malbec leads the statistics ahead of Cabernet, Bonarda, Syrah, Merlot, Tempranillo, and other varietals. When we look into the statistics for white wines, we also find a signature grape variety for Argentina, and this is Torrontés. There are several types of Torrontés, among which Torrontés Riojano is the most common. Torrontés is a grape variety originally from Spain. It still exists in Spain, but is not very widespread nowadays, and it really became the typical white wine for Argentina. Behind Torrontés, we find grape varieties such as Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Uni Blanc, and Chenin Blanc, all of which are of French origin. And we find Moscatel and Pedro Ximénez, where we see the Spanish influence on Argentina. Torrontés is a grape variety that brings quite aromatic wines. It could be compared to a little bit Gewürztraminer or Muscat, also Viognier, and it gives wines that are full-bodied, quite creamy, and normally quite high in alcohol. So 14.5 is quite typical for a white Torrontés in Argentina. When we look into the white wine statistics, we see that grape varieties that are internationally well known and that can be sold quite easily on international markets, such as the United States, Great Britain, but also Germany, are of French origin. There is Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, also Semillon, that is known to a lot of customers and that can be exported easily. The grape varieties of Spanish origin are Torrontés Riojano, Pedro Ximénez, and, for example, Moscatel. Let us have a look at the special varietals of Argentina called Rosadas. Most important is the grape variety Cereza. Cereza translates into cherry. So a grape variety called cherry is one of the most and widely spread among those Rosada grape varieties. Another very important one is Criolla. The pronunciation of the two L's in Argentina is really spoken like a sh, therefore Criolla. Other varietals that are classified to be rosadas are, for example, Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio and Moscatel Rosado. The wines made of those rosada grape varieties, such as Criolla Grande, Criolla Chica, and Cereza, are light red in color and very easy drinking, and they are very popular as table wines in the local inns, bars, and restaurants. The so-called rosada wines are served chilled in Argentina, and they are very popular locally, where they go better with the climate, and they're also lower in alcohol than, for example, a heavy Cabernet Sauvignon or also a heavy Malbec, which often has 14.5 alcohol, and therefore they're also popular as table wines, which are served by the glass or in a carafe in inexpensive restaurants and inns. Another important sector of the viticulture in Argentina is the production of table grapes. Like everywhere else in the world, table grapes without seeds have become more and more popular over the last decades. The most important table grapes in Argentina are therefore also the seedless varietals. Seedless varietals include, for example, Thompson seedless, which is a synonym for Sultana, and Flame seedless. Other examples for table grapes are Red Globe and Superior seedless. Because those rosada grape varieties are so specific, I want to talk about Criolla and Cereza a bit more in detail. Criolla is a term used in the name of several grape varieties, most importantly Criolla Grande and Criolla Chica. The term Criolla is used to refer of a group of presumable American-born cultivars with European grapevine Vitis vinifera crossings. So whether they mutated themselves or they were crossed at one point is not yet known. The Criolla group of grapes also includes 3 Argentine Terrontés varieties and Torontel. A wine made of Criolla is light red in color, normally lower in alcohol than the full-bodied Cabernets, Merlots, and Malbecs from Argentina, and therefore often used as inexpensive table wines. The grape variety Cereza, which is Spanish for cherry, is a white Argentine grape variety that has slightly reddish skin like Gewürztraminer or Pinot Gris. It is a crossing of Muscat d'Alexandrie with Listan Negro. So Cereza is definitely a crossing. Like Criolla Grande, País, and the Spanish grape variety Misión, that was widely used in North and South America. Grapevine researchers, called ampelographers, believe that the grape was introduced to Argentina by early Spanish settlers. In the 1970s and 1980s, Cereza and Criolla were dominating the Argentinian viticulture. Since then, the red wine boom happened, triggered by the effect of red wine on health, called the French paradoxon, and a lot of Criolla and Cereza were substituted by better known French origin grape varietals, including Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah. In Argentina, there are still some very, very old vineyards that exist and that are planted with Criolla or Cereza grape varieties. On this picture, we can see a vineyard planted in 1862.